want to be clear from the very start. This video is not about supporting Trump. I am not supporting Trump. I'm supporting the United States, America, my country, your country, our country, that we are proud to be citizens of. I'm a registered independent after spending most of a life as a center-left Democrat. This video is also not about pretending the US going to war with Iran was handled well. It wasn't. In fact, it's been very short-sighted. Trump may have walked into this thinking Iran would fold. He may have thought this would be easier than it was. He may have believed pressure, threats, and a few dramatic moves would force Iran back to the table. But Iran is not Venezuela. Iran is not some fragile regime that collapses the second pressure is applied. Iran has ballistic missiles, proxies, oil leverage, regional influence, the IRGC, a nuclear program, and now it has a stronger hand than it had before this all started. That is the problem. And people need to stop pretending. The question is whether Trump should have done this. Yet that's what we're all still hearing about. That question is over. It's past. We are way past that. We did it. We're there. The question today is, what happens now? Iran has rejected Trump's proposals now. So what is Trump going to do? Because if America walks away now, Iran wins. And not in some symbolic way. In a very real way, Iran comes out stronger. The IRGC comes out much stronger and clearly in charge of Iran. Iran's control, influence over the Strait of Hormuz becomes more dangerous. The oil markets become more vulnerable. The Gulf states become more exposed. Israel becomes more threatened. The West looks weaker. And in fact, the West will be weaker if we walk away now. Iran learns that it can survive American pressure, humiliate the United States, and still move closer to becoming a nuclear power. That's not peace. That's not diplomacy. That is surrender wrapped up in political exhaustion. And I'm tired of watching people act like the only thing that matters is whether Trump looks bad. Yes, Trump created this mess, no question about it. Yes, the execution may have been terrible. Yes, the leadership, especially under Hegseth, may be weak. Yes, there may be no real long-term plan. All of that may be true, but America still has to live with the outcome. That's you and me. The world still has to live with the outcome. And if the outcome is a stronger Iran, fourth largest power in the world, a more empowered IRGC, and a more dangerous Middle East, then every American loses. Republicans lose, Democrats lose, independents lose, Europe loses, the entire West loses. And the insane radical regime in Iran wins. That is what most of the world, including world leaders, do not want to face. There are people on the left who seem more interested in using this crisis to attack Trump than in asking what outcome actually protects America. Networks like the Midas Touch and others have been attacking Trump relentlessly over this. Look, criticize him, fine. I have no problem with that. He deserves criticism. But at some point, the criticism becomes almost anti-American when the only objective is to see Trump fail, even if his failure leaves the United States weaker and Iran stronger. That is not serious. That's not patriotic. And it's not leadership. That's just political addiction, because this is bigger than Trump now. This is about whether America can still shape events, whether America can start a confrontation, gets scared, gets divided, gets mocked, and then walks away while our enemies gain power. That cannot be the outcome. If America folds now, Iran does not go back to where it was before. There is no reset button. There is no going back to the old deal. There is no pretending that the Hormuz is the same. You certainly cannot ignore that the IRGC has taken control from the mullahs, are now in complete control of Iran. You can't fool yourself that Iran's nuclear threat is the same, or that the world sees the United States the same way. It's all changed. Iran has tested the West. Iran has tested Trump. Iran has tested the Gulf states, and it has tested the global oil system. And if the answer is weakness, hesitation, and retreat, which is where we are standing now, then Iran will draw the obvious conclusion. They will believe they won. And in many ways, they will be right. That is why the country needs a national consensus now, not a pro-Trump consensus, an American consensus, a Western consensus, a reality-based consensus. Iran cannot be allowed to control Hormuz. The IRGC cannot be rewarded for escalation. Iran cannot come out of this closer to nuclear weapons. The United States cannot look like it started a confrontation and back down because politics got hard. And the Gulf states cannot sit on the sidelines forever pretending this is only America's problem. If Iran dominates the region, they are next. If Iran controls the flow of oil, they're vulnerable. If the IRGC is left to be the strongest force in the Gulf, everyone in the region has a problem. So yes, the Gulf states may not want war. Nobody should want war. But avoiding war by allowing Iran to become stronger is not avoiding danger. It's postponing it and making it worse. If we're going to confront Iran, then do it seriously. Do it with a plan. Do it with competent leadership. Do it with the Gulf states aligned and the Western world behind us. Do it with clear objectives. Do it with an explanation to the American people. Do it in a way that leaves the United States stronger, not weaker. Do not stumble into a crisis, panic when Iran does not fold, and then pretend retreat is wisdom. That would be a disaster because Iran is watching, Russia and China are watching, the Gulf states are watching along with Israel. Every enemy and ally of the United States is watching to see whether America still has the will to finish what it starts. And this is where the anti-Trump obsession becomes dangerous, because the question cannot be, how do we make Trump look bad? The question has to be, how do we make sure America does not lose? That's the difference. You can oppose Trump all you want and still understand that America cannot afford to be humiliated by Iran. You can criticize Trump and still understand that the IRGC cannot be allowed to walk away stronger. You cannot think this was badly handled and still understand that walking away now creates a much more dangerous world. That's where I am. I'm not defending Trump, absolutely not. I'm saying the United States cannot afford to lose the outcome, because if we leave this with Iran and the insane radical IRGC in power, then this was not just a failed policy, it was a strategic catastrophe. And everyone cheering for Trump to be embarrassed should ask themselves one question: what matters more, that Trump looks bad or America comes out of this stronger? Because if your hatred of Trump is so strong that you're willing to leave Iran more powerful just to say, I told you so, then you're not thinking about the country. You're not thinking as a patriot. You're thinking about politics. And politics is not going to protect shipping. It's not going to stop the IRGC. Politics is not going to protect Israel or stabilize oil markets. It's not going to stop a nuclear Iran. This is the moment for serious people and a serious discussion. Yes, Trump made the mess, but America still has to deal with it. Iran is stronger if we fold. The world is more dangerous if we fold. And America is so much weaker if we fold. So no, this is not about supporting Trump. This is about supporting the United States. And if America walks away now, Iran wins, and the world will pay for that mistake for many, many years to come. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe to the video and to the channel to help us continue growing, and we'll see you on the next one. Thank you.